Hello, greetings. This is Gilles. I wanted to come and say hello. I've been asked to come back and speak again today. I'm not in my regular environment, but soon things are shifting and changing. For what we need to do is let go of the form, let go of all those things of the physical world, which is very challenging because the spirit has no limit and the spirit always shows us the best possibilities out of life. But because we are attached to form and conditioning, we doubt. And if we doubt, we are faced with our own limitation, which reinforce themselves. Because once we listen to the inner guidance of spirit, we feel it's too good to be true, it's too free to be true, it's too beautiful to be true. When in a sense, this is really what is wanted for us, is to find this path of freedom, for we are really living in the end game, and it's the end of a very, very long cycle of darkness that started millions of years ago during the galactic wars. There was this great fight between the dark light and the light, between the forces of darkness and the forces of light, and but it is the end game. We moved in now into the age of Aquarius, and so all the darker forces, they still control on the earth, they control the medias, and so they still are able to control somewhat of the population, but they have lost the game. They will not, at some point they're going to continue to throw their cards in the game until one day they won't have any more cards. Everything's going to change all of a sudden. There's this great deal of awakening that is happening. For those galactic wars, it happens long time ago. There was an Anshara Accord that ended the war, but the Earth was given as a territory to the darkness, and so it was a quarantine planet. But now we came here to liberate the Earth, and the Earth is the key to the final resolution of the Orion parameters, which is this DNA code that seeks to conquer by violence, to dominate, to oppress, it also gave us a sense of adventure and a sense of heroism in the process. But all of the agent of the Black Alliance, what we call the deep states, they just manipulated themselves. They do not know. They believe they will ascend by doing what their demons have been telling them, but they will not. The only tool is fear, and so the only thing they have to use is fear. It's what we call the dark cabal or whatever, but they're a little bit everywhere. They've taken control because humanity was kind of naive, young, and so now with their awakening, they won't be able to stop the awakening of humanity. People are going to be on the streets everywhere asking for justice, asking for transparency, asking for truth, and so this will happen, and we're all they're going to soon come up with a Corona 2.0, and they're going to try to see what to see how it's all about a manipulation. It's a deception. It's better to die standing up than to live kneeling down. What they're doing with that is they're testing out to see how much people are willing to take, how much are they willing to submit to draconian law, to tyrannies, and so. But people are no longer. There's still a lot of people that following that, but they will eventually wake up. And so, for in the past, the Dark Alliance have won many battles against the light, because it was the Kali Yuga, the age of darkness, the age of decadence. But now this age is over, so they will not succeed, no matter what they do. For they manipulate the rules. They made the rules to serve their agenda, but those rules, they change the rule whenever it suits them. It's like so the game is this old game is no longer. We're gonna move into the golden age, an age of peace and freedom for all. So it's no reason to get too excited, and just cultivate the light and love within yourself and apply passive resistance, like Etienne de la Boétie explains. We resist in a passive way. We cannot be the only way. We have to accept to be tyranny, otherwise we are free. But freedom requires a lot of responsibility. People do not want so much responsibility, but as we awaken, we begin more conscious, to be more conscious about all that. I wanted to thank you for all your message of support and the donation. I've been receiving some donation by a website named Paylib, Paylib. It's very easy, it's very simple, but I thank you very much. I ask that anybody that makes any sort of donation will be returned 1,000-fold, for this money is a flow and energy. And Spirit says to stop complaining because everything's going to open all at once. It's just living in a material world. When you're facing difficult situation, it helps. It makes things so much easier when you can afford to handle situation than when you're in this world that is. For I've never really thought money was so important. I've always had all that I needed to have a comfortable life. I didn't need to have so much, and I thought that it was kind of like it was not a good idea to make money the alpha and the omega of all things, to make it a point in itself. It's just a resource. It's something that assists us in having a good quality of life, but not to become a god to worship and that people can do anything to acquire, even if they have to hurt and kill people to get it. Which is, like it's been going on for thousands of years. That money has been, but in some sense we're going to change the system of money. We're going to return eventually to. It's going to be a reset on the whole. It's very complex and complicated. That's why it's taking so long. But we're going to return to the gold standards, where the banks that will emit the bills will have asset to back the bills, so they won't be like this huge inflation. For the debts will never be repaid. The debts of no nation will ever be able to repay their debts. So it's just a way that the central bank, which are private organizations belonging to certain families, have enslaved the nations with those computer numbers and the printed money. And then the nation state are enslaving the population to pay taxes, so they can pay the debts, which they won't pay anyway, because it's a Babylonian system that will have to end very soon. And so for now we need to free ourselves as much as possible to pray for abundance, to connect to abundance, to be free. Spirit is always showing me this possibility of my future life, which is very joyful and very free and very abundant. And so I have to no matter what is going on, even if I have to eat bananas in the meantime, I have to accept that, and to know that I will catch up on the good pleasures of life later on, or now if it happens now. For the highest wisdom for us today is wisdom. It is the unicorn. The unicorn has the third eye open. We are all connected to a unicorn named Jake. Your unicorn, his name is Jake. And you go into the inner plane and you talk to him. He will talk to you back. The beautiful beings, they are the elemental beings, spiritual beings. And they will guide us to our castle in the inner planes. And wisdom is many things. It's the socialization of your love. It is the highest application of knowledge. It's the integration of all things. There is no limit in wisdom. Only God possesses infinite wisdom, and for us it is a growing thing. And the highest wisdom is usually something that just passes through us. For all the great ideas that anyone has doesn't come from us as ego. It comes from God. It comes from Spirit. It's just we're receptive to it, and we receive those great ideas. For what we need to understand is the war and battle, is how to make peace within ourselves and to make peace with the world. It is about making peace in the world. For this is really it is just a matter of letting go of judgment and grudges, and finding a compromise where everybody can live a peaceful life, and this will come. What we need to understand is persecution and inquisition for this world is very we're still living in a dark age. It feels until the golden age is here, we'll still be in this dark age. And so we still, although the society is progressing, we no longer have officially we don't have slavery. Officially we don't have we protect. There's still a lot to work before we become fully civilized, and the outcome will be Atlantis. Atlantis was a civilized civilization. They were fourth and fifth dimensional civilization, although they were a patriarchal civilization, more dominating, like the Aryans and sons of Belials that were very corporatist and militarist, but then there was the Atlara, which was matriarchal, that handled all the technologies that made the folks. They were the very, very advanced civilization, and this consciousness of the Atlara will return to the surface, and from maybe the island of Poseida will return, the Emerald City. For once we understand how to put an end to war and battle, we'll find finance for this inner battle. Once we let go of any battle within us, everything will flow. And money is an energy. It's a flow of energy, and so we want to be in abundance as much as possible. And for it is good to repeat to yourself, I love money, and money loves me. so we can also be generous with it as well. Once we let go of this persecution and inquisition, we realize the wishes. We made wishes. We have to let go of all the wishes that limitates us, and we have to open ourselves to those other things we've been asking the universe, and then we'll find how to become galactics. We're going to become one with our galactic self, our light body, which is already already exists. It's just a matter of tuning into it. Well, I'm trying to sing a song. I tried to sing this in French and I forgot half of the song, so I don't have words. I'm going to still sing it. It goes like this. It's about dreams coming true. La 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 la. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, breathe. I forgot the words. Way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? Sorry, I forgot the words. I'm like terrible. I should probably choose a song that I'm sure I know the words. I'll pull one more card, please forgive me. It's the 5 of Gabriel. You can undertake any challenge. For Spirit says, my life is a challenge right now, but I can undertake it. Remove yourself from people living in a tragic situation, for there's a lot of tragedy going on in the world, and so we want to even remove ourselves, from the part of ourselves that is in doubts and in fear, and to allow ourselves to move into this state of joy. And it says, show patience towards yourself and others. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I thank you for everything, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.